Most people in the financial world, MIT, Harvard, they all have undergraduate degrees in chemical engineering set up to cause harm. So the healing, the positive has come from the environmentalists, the people who love the earth. So even Joseph Jett had an undergraduate degree in chemical engineering, so he knows.
We've gotten on R&D over the last 5 years have been negative, Scott, negative. They've spent roughly $5 billion over the last 5 years in ag. And let me tell you what they got. In one case, they infringed on a patent from Monsanto. Monsanto is not some little company that developed some little patent somewhere that they didn't know about. Monsanto is their chief competitor, number one. And they infringed on a patent of Roundup, which is a product that's been around in the ag field since the 70s. I competed with Roundup at Uniroyal Chemical back in the 80s, so I know about Roundup. So they infringed on that patent, and that wound up in a jury trial, which they lost, and they wound up agreeing to pay $1.75 billion, that's with a B, billion in minimum royalty payments over a few years. Okay, that's one product out of R&D. The other one is a product called Imprellis. Now, Imprellis did $7 million, that's with an M, okay, in sales. And let me tell you what Imprellis did. They put Imprellis on golf courses where it was meant to be. And what it did is it burnt down the trees on the golf course. Now, for golfers, Scott, like me, that's a real advantage. But for shareholders like me, that was a big disadvantage because that cost us about $1.25 billion in costs, and that product is no longer on the market. So those are the products of the last couple of years of R&D. Okay. The next thing is, when we get the leverage, we're suggesting that DuPont's leverage be roughly the same as Monsanto's. Okay.
For maybe 2 or 3 hours, and we're going to do some time lapse. Something I've seen on TV with like flowers opening or plants growing, but never with chemistry developing.
Yeah, natural fog bath from the springs, mineral bath. I got one. Look at that. Coming up to, woo!
Silver is one of the few metallic elements that occurs naturally as the metal in nature. So that if you're lucky, you can wander around and find lumps of silver lying around on the ground. And this is how in ancient times silver was discovered. So it has been known for thousands, if not tens of thousands of years. Gold is somewhat similar, and also copper. But most other metals combine too easily with oxygen or other elements, so you don't find them naturally.
So I thought what we do today is do a competition reaction. And that competition reaction is based on something called the reactivity series of metals. So we're going to compare the reactivity of 2 metals. It's a bit like a game of football. We're going to give one of those metals to a football, and in this case, it's another component or another salt component, nitrate. So the 2 metals that are going to be competing for the nitrate are silver and copper. And really, these are related by something called the reactivity series. One of these metals is going to win. I know that, and I hope we'll find it during this video.
Silver had a particular use in photography, and in the old days, when people used photographic film, the black colour that you saw on developed negatives is in fact silver. A photographic film consists of a layer of silver bromide or sometimes silver iodide, and when the light shines on it, the light just starts a tiny amount of reaction making silver, and then when you put it in the developing solution, the catalytic amount of silver that you've produced causes a big reaction, and you make a large amount of silver, and so you get this black colour, which then you can print as pictures.
So on the bench I've got a small beaker or an Erlenmeyer flask, as we chemists call it.
Professor Korotkov's laboratory has developed an instrument that can determine the energetics of water. It works on the basis of the Kirlian effect. Everything that enters a strong electromagnetic field begins to emit light. The greater energy the object possesses, the brighter it shines.